Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of equations and inequalities. This is standard 7.11a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 27 off the 2017 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we have a very simple equation here. We've got 30.16 equals 17.56 plus 5x. So we need to isolate the x in this linear equation. We need to get it all by itself, and so how we're going to do that is we are going to use our order of operations in reverse. That's how we start attacking this, getting that x by itself. And so let me write this a little bit bigger over here so we can work with it. So 30 and 1600ths equals, and then we need to get some work done over on the right side of this equation. And you see there are going to be two different operations that are kind of keeping this x from being isolated. So we have this addition here, right? We've got this addition. We're really adding the 17 and 5600ths. So if it makes us feel any better, let me go ahead and use the commutative property of addition. Lets me know I can swap the order of the addends. I'm just going to put this 5x, they're both positive, plus 17 and 5600. So that's going to make it a little bit easier for us to see that we've got an addition. We also have a multiplication, multiplying 5 times x. Whenever you see a number next to a letter and there is no operation, it's always assumed to be multiplication. So starting from the bottom up, what do we see? We don't see any subtraction, but we do see an addition. It's this plus 17.56 or 17 and 5600ths. So we are going to use the inverse operation of subtraction to get rid of it. So plus 17 and 5600ths minus 17 and 5600ths. That obviously cancels itself out. And so we're left with this 5x on the right side. But obviously, in order to maintain a balanced equation, we need to subtract 17 and 5600ths from both sides. So this is where it gets not necessarily tricky. I mean, we're just subtracting decimals, but it just takes a little bit more work. They're not whole numbers. So 6 minus 6 is 0. So now we need to do some regrouping, and even though it's 7th grade, we got to regroup all the way across this 0. So they just want to make sure you don't forget how to do that. So I borrow a 10, leave 2 10s, make this 10 ones. I'm going to take one of these 10s, leaving 9, these 10 ones, take one of them, leaving only 9 ones, and break that up into 10 tenths. So now I've got 11 tenths. Now I can finally do this. 11 minus 5 is 6. 9 minus 7 is 2. All right, so I've got 12.60, but we're just going to go ahead and drop this. We're just going to call it 12.6. And that equals 5 times x. So that's my times x, so that's a multiply. So we need to divide. That's our inverse operation. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, cancels itself out. We don't need to write a 1 in front of an x. So look at that. I finally have x by itself as long as I divide that side by 5 as well. We need to do the same thing to both sides of the equation to balance it out. So let's check this out. 5 into 12 and 6 tenths. So 5 goes into 12 twice. That is 10. 2, that's going to be 6. 5 goes into 26 5 times, 25. You know what? It looks like this was a 12.60. I guess I needed to keep that 0. Even if I didn't have that 0, remember, you can always add a 0 after a decimal. You can add as many zeros after a decimal as you want to. It's not going to change it. So 5 goes into 10 twice. There we go. That's going to be a little bit better. So now I've got this 2 and 5200ths. There we go. That's looking pretty good. It's not negative. We don't have any negatives or anything. So our answer here is going to be D, 2.52 or 2 and 5200ths.